most men live under an illusion. They are told from birth that if they simply believe strongly enough, the universe will bend to their desires. They whisper their wishes to the stars. They write affirmations in notebooks. They repeat empty words like chants to a god that never answers. They call it manifestation. They say, "I will be rich," as if the mere echo of their breath can command gold from the ground. But here is the truth. Wealth does not bow to fantasies, it bows to power. Look around you. The men who rise from nothing to control nations, to command great fortunes, do not sit in silence waiting for destiny to hand them riches. They bend destiny itself. They seize opportunities while others pray. They understand that to manifest is not to dream, it is to act. The weak sit in circles of hope, convincing themselves that belief alone is the currency of fortune. But Machiavelli would laugh at such foolishness. For gold is not drawn by thoughts. It is taken by strategy, by force, by intelligence, by an unshakable will to dominate when others hesitate. If you truly desire to see money in your hands within days, abandon this superstition. The world does not care for your wishes. The world rewards those who understand power. What is power? It is the ability to shape events, to move men, to bend circumstances in your favor. It is the knowledge of timing, of deception, of calculated risk. It is the ruthless clarity that says, if I want wealth, I must take it from the hands of another, for gold never multiplies itself, it only changes owners. Consider how men of history seized wealth in mere days. Did they wait? Did they manifest in silence? No. They created a narrative, a story that made others give them what they sought. One man convinces a desperate merchant that he alone can secure passage for goods. Another exploits a crisis, offering a solution that others will pay for at any price. A third declares himself a savior, while quietly extracting tribute from the very people he pretends to protect. These men understood that manifestation without action is delusion, but manifestation tied to power is transformation. And yet, so many are blind. They repeat phrases like, "Money flows easily to me," while in reality, their pockets remain empty. They imagine that wealth will simply appear like manna from the sky. But here is the harsh truth: if you cannot command men, if you cannot seize opportunity, if you cannot step into the chaos of the world and twist it to your advantage, no words you utter will matter. The rich man is not the one who chants, he is the one who calculates. In 4 days or less, you cannot build a kingdom of wealth through slow labor, but you can exploit the illusions of others. You can see what they do not. The dreamers are your prey, for they expect fortune to come unearned. While they sit in silence, you act. While they dream, you strike. And when they awaken, it will already be too late, for the wealth they hoped for will already rest in your hands. You must learn to see reality as it is, not as the weak wish it to be. Reality is war, money is spoils. Those who hesitate, who wish, who pray, are casualties before the battle even begins. But those who understand that manifestation is simply the alignment of ruthless action with opportunity, they are the victors. They know that power is not given, it is taken. They know that money is not attracted by hope, but by dominance. They know that the true manifestation of wealth is not magic, but control. If you desire large sums of money in mere days, you must shift your mind from fantasy to force. Train yourself to think like a predator, not a beggar. Train yourself to see opportunities in every weakness around you. Train yourself to move when others wait. Because every moment you delay, someone else acts. Every second you spend wishing, another man is seizing. And when the dust settles, only one of you will hold the gold. In the pursuit of wealth, men make a grave mistake. They believe value comes only from what they actually possess, from the weight of gold in their coffers, or the contracts written in their name. But in truth, fortune does not reward possession as much as it rewards perception. Men will pay you, trust you, and even follow you not because of what you truly are, but because of what you appear to be. Control the narrative, and you control the flow of money. Fail to do so, and you will remain invisible, no matter what talents or treasures you secretly hold. Imagine 2 merchants standing side by side. One has rare goods but presents himself poorly, his clothes worn, his tone uncertain, his presence weak. The other has little to offer, but he dresses like a prince, speaks with authority, and convinces all who listen that he is connected to great powers. Which man do you think others will hand their gold to? The answer is obvious. Men are drawn to confidence, to illusion, to the appearance of superiority. The second merchant, though lacking, will profit more quickly than the first, because he understood that narrative is more valuable than substance. This is why the weak wait years for recognition, while the cunning acquire wealth in days. In 4 days or less, you cannot change the foundation of who you are, but you can change how others see you, and this is often enough. If they believe you are indispensable, if they see you as a man of access, if they imagine you to hold keys to doors they cannot open, they will rush to reward you, often beyond what you truly deserve. It is not justice, it is strategy. Machiavelli knew well that men judge more with their eyes than with their minds. They prefer the spectacle of strength to the quiet truth of weakness. If you wish to manifest wealth quickly, you must feed this hunger for appearances. Dress above your station, speak as though you already command wealth, let your gestures radiate certainty even when your heart trembles. The weak may call it deception, the wise call it mastery. For in this world, it is not the honest man who wins, but the man who appears powerful, valuable, untouchable. Consider the courtier who has no land, no armies, no treasury, yet walks into the palace with such grace and certainty that nobles assume he has the ear of kings. In days, he secures patronage, gifts, promises of wealth, all because he crafted a story about himself that others believed. Compare this to the poor scholar who has genuine wisdom but no presence, no narrative, no command of perception. His brilliance remains hidden in silence, while the bold liar feasts on rewards. This is the cruelty of reality, but also its advantage, for if you understand it, you can use it to bend fortune in your favor. Do you think the wealthy truly work harder than you? Many of them do not. They simply controlled how the world saw them. They appeared indispensable, and others opened their purses willingly. To them, money flowed not because they begged for it, but because they positioned themselves as the ones who must be paid. They sold not their product, but the image of their importance. If you want to manifest money in 4 days, you must master this art. Begin by asking, what do others most desire to see? Do they crave certainty? Then show them certainty. Do they crave connection? Then present yourself as the bridge they cannot find. Do they crave hope in a time of chaos? Then embody hope, even if it costs you nothing. You will find that men will trade their gold not for what you truly are, but for what they believe you to be. The greatest trick of wealth is this: it often flows to those who already seem to have it. This is why the rich grow richer, while the poor remain stuck. People believe in symbols, not truths. If you show them the symbol of abundance, whether through dress, words, or actions, they will treat you as if you already possess it, and in doing so, they will give it to you. Appearances create reality. Never underestimate this principle. A man who controls the narrative does not beg for money. He makes others eager to give it. He does not chase wealth, wealth chases him, because others are convinced they must remain in his favor. And when 4 days pass, you will discover that narrative has built you bridges to riches that hard labor alone could never cross. When time is short, hesitation becomes death. Most men wait for the perfect moment, for conditions to align, for certainty to whisper in their ear, but the perfect moment never arrives. They sit idle, staring at doors that will never open, while the decisive man forces his way through and takes what lies inside. If you wish to manifest money in 4 days or less, you must understand this simple truth: wealth belongs to the one who exploits urgency. There are always men in desperation. There are always merchants who cannot afford delay, leaders who must save face quickly, clients who need solutions faster than they can think. Their weakness is your opportunity. If you move swiftly, you can extract wealth from their panic, because they will pay any price for immediate relief. They cannot wait weeks, months, or years. They need now, and you must become the one who provides now. In their urgency lies your advantage. Think of the man who arrives at a city's gates when famine strikes. He brings only a small supply of grain, but he sells it at 10 times the normal price because those inside cannot wait. They are hungry today. They are desperate today. They will not ask if more grain will come next week, for by then they may already be dead. The clever man exploits this urgency, and in days he amasses wealth that others spend years to collect. He does not exploit forever, he exploits now. The same principle applies in every age. In business, in negotiation, in daily dealings, there are always those who cannot afford the luxury of time. You must find them, and when you do, you must strike with precision. Offer the service they lack, provide the bridge they cannot cross, or sell them the illusion of security when chaos surrounds them. They will pay quickly, for hesitation is not their luxury. Their urgency is the gold in your hand. But here is where most fail: they hesitate themselves. They see the desperate man, they sense the opportunity, yet they waste hours thinking, doubting, planning. And while they deliberate, another man with sharper instincts takes the prize. Urgency does not wait for the hesitant. It rewards the ruthless, the one who acts before others even decide if action is possible. Machiavelli understood that fortune itself is like a river. When it floods, it destroys everything in its path, but when controlled, it can be directed to feed the fields and enrich the land. Urgency is such a flood. To those who are unprepared, it is disaster. To those who are ready, it is abundance. 4 days may not be enough time to invent new paths to wealth, but it is enough time to seize those created by chaos. When a crack appears in the wall, do not wait to study its width. Push through it before it closes. Notice also how urgency blinds men to cost. When calm, they argue over prices, they compare options, they hesitate in endless debate. But when urgency seizes them, all logic is silenced. They will pay more, trust more, and surrender more, because the pain of waiting outweighs the price of giving. This is when you must step forward. Show them that you can deliver faster than anyone else, and you will not only win their gold, you will win it at a premium. Some call this exploitation, as though it were dishonorable. But what is dishonor compared to power? The world itself is built on urgency. Kingdoms rise because men move before rivals. Armies win because generals strike before the enemy is ready. Fortunes are made because someone saw opportunity in another man's desperation. To refuse urgency is to refuse the very nature of fortune. And what of you? Will you wait for the perfect opportunity, or will you seize the imperfect one that exists now? In 4 days, hesitation will leave you empty-handed, but decisiveness will leave you rich. You cannot afford to waste even a single hour in doubt. Train yourself to see urgency not as chaos, but as a ladder. Every desperate man is a step. Every crisis is an opening. Every shortage is a chance to name your price. If you wish to manifest money quickly, you must become a predator of time. Hunt the moments when men cannot wait. Appear when they are most vulnerable and make yourself their only option. They will not question. They will not resist. They will not compare. They will give you what you demand, because they fear the cost of delay more than the cost of payment. That is the essence of exploiting urgency. Men of the world often pride themselves on honesty, believing that wealth and power come to those who are transparent, those who show their true face without disguise. But history has proven otherwise. Wealth does not fall into the lap of the man who reveals all. It falls into the hands of the man who understands that appearances matter more than reality, that illusion often has more value than truth. If you wish to manifest large sums of money in 4 days or less, you must learn the art of strategic deception. Consider this: most men do not look deeply. They see only the surface. They take words at face value. They are moved by gestures. They are persuaded by the confidence of tone, by the clothing you wear, by the aura you project. To control them, you do not need to be wealthy. You need only to appear wealthy. You do not need to hold real power. You must only create the perception of power. The appearance of abundance will attract real abundance. The appearance of authority will draw real submission. This is the secret that dreamers miss and the ruthless exploit. Imagine a man who seeks investment. He has little, perhaps nothing, yet he dresses in fine garments, speaks of grand ventures, and surrounds himself with the symbols of success. He talks not as one who hopes, but as one who already commands. Those who listen will rarely ask for proof. They are moved by confidence, by the illusion that he has already won. And because they believe, they hand him their money. What began as appearance quickly becomes reality. This is the essence of strategic deception. It is not aimless lying, but calculated illusion. It is not to deceive for sport, but to deceive with purpose, to create wealth, to command resources, to manifest opportunities that would otherwise remain closed. And if you think this dishonorable, look again at the world. Kings have ruled with crowns of illusion, generals have won wars through feigned weakness, merchants have built empires on exaggerated promises. Deception is not the exception, it is the foundation. You cannot gather wealth in 4 days by slow labor, but you can gather it by crafting a story others will pay to be part of. Let them believe you hold connections, even if they are merely whispers. Let them believe you have access to opportunities, even if those opportunities are yet to be created. Let them believe you are already in possession of riches, for in their eagerness to associate with your supposed fortune, they will create the fortune for you. Think of the man at the gambling table who pretends to have endless gold. Others, fearing he cannot be beaten, withdraw before the game even begins. He risks little, but his bluff commands much. This is no different in life. The illusion of strength, the illusion of wealth, the illusion of inevitability. These illusions bend the will of others and force them to surrender real value. Machiavelli himself declared that it is not necessary to have all virtues, but to appear to have them. Apply this truth to wealth. You do not need to own a fortune. You must appear as though fortune already bows to you. Do this convincingly, and you will find that others treat you as a wealthy man. They will pay you higher, they will trust you deeper, they will invest in your presence, and in days, not years, the illusion you crafted will harden into reality. Yet you must be strategic. Not every deception is wise. The careless liar is soon discovered, and discovery breeds ruin. But the careful deceiver, the one who blends truth with illusion, is nearly untouchable. Do not promise what cannot be delivered. Instead, promise what can be shaped. Do not construct castles of lies that collapse at the first push. Build illusions strong enough to withstand doubt, reinforced by fragments of truth, and no one will dare to question you. The world rewards boldness, and nothing is bolder than the man who creates a narrative greater than his reality. In 4 days, you cannot build an empire of wealth, but you can make others believe you already stand at its gates. And once they believe, they will do what belief always does. They will supply the gold, the opportunities, the alliances, until your story becomes fact. Understand this: men desire to be deceived. They crave certainty in uncertain times, hope in despair, strength when they feel weak. If you present yourself as the embodiment of what they long for, they will not resist the illusion. They will embrace it. They will cling to it. They will pay for it. Your deception, if woven with skill, will not only go unchallenged, it will be celebrated. And when 4 days pass, you will look at your hands and see that the wealth others thought you already possessed has become yours in truth. The deception, once a shadow, will have given birth to substance. And you will understand that in the pursuit of fortune, it is not honesty that opens doors, but illusion, carefully crafted and ruthlessly maintained. Gold does not move on its own. It is carried in the pockets of men. It flows through the hands of merchants, bankers, rulers, and laborers. It is never created out of thin air in 4 days, but it can be redirected. If you wish to manifest large sums of money in so short a time, you must understand this law: wealth moves through networks, and the man who knows how to pull the strings of those networks can command riches faster than any worker who spends years in toil. Most people treat relationships as matters of sentiment. They seek friendship, comfort, or approval. But the cunning man views every connection as a lever. Every alliance as a tool, every bond as a bridge to power. He does not nurture networks simply to feel secure. He uses them to bend the flow of resources toward himself. He understands that every man he meets has something he can extract: influence, money, information, or access. And he does not hesitate to use it. Consider this: in 4 days, you cannot mine gold from the earth or raise armies to conquer land. But you can call in favors, you can awaken dormant debts. You can convince allies to lend you what they would never give freely. You can position yourself as the key that unlocks another man's ambitions, and in return, you can demand payment. Networks are the veins of fortune, and you must become the heart that pumps them to your advantage. Look at how kings secured their thrones. Rarely did they fight every battle with their own hands. They drew upon alliances, manipulated noble families, promised rewards to soldiers, borrowed resources from bankers. Each connection became a weapon, each ally a stepping stone. The king who leveraged his network ruthlessly became secure, while the one who tried to stand alone was devoured by enemies stronger than himself. In wealth, it is the same. The man who ignores his network will remain poor. The man who exploits it will rise swiftly. You must see clearly what others cannot. Your acquaintances, colleagues, family, and even rivals are not mere names. They are doors waiting to be opened, if only you knock with the right demand. A wealthy acquaintance can be convinced to invest if you create the illusion of opportunity. A desperate contact can be persuaded to sell cheaply if you recognize his need before others. A rival can be tricked into cooperation if you make him believe your success benefits him. Every man around you is a potential resource, and you must learn to tap them without shame. But here lies the truth few dare to accept. This requires ruthlessness. The timid man hesitates, fearing he might offend, fearing he might strain the bond. He clings to the illusion of friendship, and in doing so, he wastes the opportunity. Meanwhile, the ruthless man extracts value and moves forward. He knows that relationships in the world of wealth are not built on affection, but on utility. Today's ally may be tomorrow's rival, but if he has served his purpose, it does not matter. What matters is the gain. Think of the merchant who secures a great shipment of goods. He does not carry it alone. He uses one partner to fund it, another to store it, another to transport it, and another to sell it. Each of these men thinks they are profiting, yet the merchant orchestrates the entire network so that his own share is the largest. This is the art you must master. To leverage networks ruthlessly means to stand at the center of the web, pulling threads in all directions, ensuring that every movement of others brings gold closer to you. And do not believe you must always repay equally. Reciprocity is for the weak. You give only what maintains the illusion of fairness, never so much that it weakens your advantage. When you call in favors, make them costly to others but profitable to you. When you extend favors, ensure they chain the other man in debt to you, so that when the day comes, you may demand a price far greater than what you gave. This is not cruelty, it is strategy. It ensures that your network is not a web you are trapped in, but one you control. In 4 days, the man who knows no one remains empty-handed, but the man who commands a network can summon money swiftly because he does not rely on his own resources alone. He multiplies his reach through others. He borrows their credibility, their wealth, their access, their labor, and channels it into his own pocket. Alone, you are slow. With a network, you are unstoppable, if you have the courage to use it without hesitation. Most people are slaves to the illusion of loyalty, but you must free yourself from such chains. Loyalty in wealth is temporary, shifting, fragile. What endures is leverage. Keep your network wide, your debts deep, your alliances temporary, but effective. Move through them like a commander moves through soldiers, deploying each where they are most useful, discarding those who no longer serve. If you can do this without remorse, then money will come to you not in years, but in days. Most men fail not because they lack opportunity, nor even because they lack intelligence, but because they lack the will to act with cold execution. They hesitate at the edge of fortune, trembling with doubt, weighed down by fear, distracted by emotion. They imagine endless scenarios, they plan endlessly. They comfort themselves with the thought that tomorrow is safer, tomorrow is wiser, tomorrow is better. But tomorrow is the graveyard of wealth. If you wish to manifest money in 4 days or less, you cannot afford tomorrow. You must act today, and you must act with the sharpness of a blade that cuts without hesitation. Execution is the dividing line between the dreamer and the conqueror. The dreamer speaks, the conqueror acts. The dreamer imagines, the conqueror seizes. You may understand strategy, you may control the narrative, you may exploit urgency, you may even craft brilliant deceptions, but if you fail to execute coldly and decisively, all of it is wasted. Wealth does not come to the clever man who delays. It comes to the bold man who strikes. Think of the hunter in the forest. He sees the prey, he knows the wind, he measures the distance. But then he hesitates, he doubts his aim. He wonders if perhaps a larger prey will appear. By the time he releases his arrow, the prey has fled. Meanwhile, another hunter, less skilled but more decisive, looses his shot at once and secures the kill. Execution is not about perfection. It is about speed, precision, and lack of hesitation. In wealth, the same rule applies. Opportunities are fleeting. A deal today may vanish tomorrow. A desperate man willing to pay a high price now may find another solution within hours. A network of alliances open to you today may close if you pause too long. Cold execution means acting without the poison of overthinking. It means striking while the iron is hot, even if the strike is not flawless. A half-perfect action executed now brings more wealth than a perfect plan executed too late. Men often excuse their hesitation by cloaking it in virtue. They say, I must think carefully, I must be cautious, I must be fair. But beneath these excuses lies fear, fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of risk. Yet wealth is not given to the fearful. Money flows toward boldness, toward those who act with clarity and without remorse. The man who acts coldly, who treats hesitation as weakness, who values action above comfort, is the one who gains. Cold execution also means stripping away emotion. Do not let pity soften your decisions. Do not let guilt slow your steps. Do not let attachment blind your vision. If you see an opportunity, take it, even if another man suffers because of it. His suffering is not your concern, your fortune is. Machiavelli teaches that men who attempt to be purely good in all things inevitably fall prey to those who are not. In money, the same principle reigns. The one who acts ruthlessly, without tears, without hesitation, seizes what others abandon in their kindness. Imagine two merchants negotiating. One fears offending the other, so he hesitates, offers a lower demand, and compromises. The other speaks firmly, demands boldly, and closes the deal at his price. Who leaves richer? Not the cautious one, not the kind one, but the cold one who placed profit above emotion. Multiply this by every decision you face, and you will understand why most men fail to build wealth quickly. They lack the steel in their hearts to choose fortune over feelings. In 4 days, your chances to manifest money will not come neatly wrapped in certainty. They will appear messy, risky, dangerous. If you wait for perfect safety, you will wait forever. Cold execution means leaping before others dare, knowing that fortune itself favors the bold. It means taking the deal, seizing the opportunity, demanding the payment, calling in the debt, even if you are not entirely prepared. Because the moment matters more than preparation. Action creates results, delay creates nothing. Do not mistake cold execution for recklessness. It is not wild, it is not blind. It is calculated, but decisive. You must see the opportunity, weigh it quickly, and then move with finality. The reckless man acts without thought, the cold executor acts without hesitation. He knows what he wants, he sees the opening, and he takes it before another hand reaches out. That is the difference between the fool and the strategist. Every day you hesitate, another man acts. Every hour you pause, another man strikes. Every minute you waste, another man grows richer at your expense. This is the brutal truth. The world does not wait. Money does not wait. Opportunity does not wait. Only the ruthless executor is rewarded. If you cannot harden your heart, If you cannot silence your doubts, if you cannot act with cold decisiveness, then wealth will always slip through your fingers, and the 4 days you were given will dissolve into nothing but regrets. Conclusion: so what is the lesson? Wealth does not answer prayers, it answers power. In 4 days or less, you cannot build empires of stone, but you can bend men, shape appearances, seize urgency, weave deception, pull networks into your hands, and strike with cold execution. That is how money is manifested, not by magic, but by the will to take what others hesitate to claim. Most will never do this. They will dream, they will wait, they will drown in illusions while time devours their chances. But the rare few, the ones willing to play the game as it is, not as they wish it to be, will turn 4 days into fortune. Remember, this gold is not loyal. It does not sit still. It flows, it moves, it escapes the hands of the timid and settles in the grasp of the decisive. If you would have it, you must demand it, command it, and never pause when the moment appears. For in the end, it is not destiny that makes men rich, it is their ruthlessness.